Distinguished participants, what brings us together, as said earlier, from the government, financiers, developers, legislators, and even policy makers alike, is our shared desire to solve housing crisis by learning from each other, exploring innovative approaches, and working collaboratively to provide decent, affordable shelter for our people. But let us be honest about the biggest elephant in the room. Already, Professor Jerry Gana has already identified it. The biggest challenge in the room is the challenge for affordability. Across the continent, the housing deficit is not only a question of supply, but also access. Too many people, even when housing is available, simply you cannot afford it. Incomes are low, not only in Nigeria, but across Africa. That's why the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR is focused not only on building houses, but also on fixing structural and macroeconomic foundations that will make housing affordable and sustainable today and in the long run. The government is taking a bold step to stabilize the economy, strengthen the naira, raise real incomes, and reduce inflation. These efforts are already beginning to show results, and they are laying the groundwork for housing market where Nigerians can truly own or rent homes that reflect their income levels and living realities. I must say that this conviction is at the heart of the Renewed Hope Housing Program. The program reflects a clear strategy for reimagining housing delivery across these tiers. First, as we all know, is the Renewed Hope Cities, which are large-scale urban developments with integrated infrastructure for construction in Nigerian cities, in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Maiduguri, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. These are the urban centers where we have an influx of rural-urban migration. The second is the Renewed Hope Estates, which are medium-sized density residential clusters located in each of the 30 states of the Federation. The third component is the Renewed Hope Social Housing Estate, which aim to provide deeply affordable homes for low-income Nigerians, supported by targeted government subsidies to ensure affordability to be situated in each of the 774 local government areas. We recognize that government alone cannot mobilize the funding required to fix the housing need. This we know even up an issue. So we are leveraging the public-private partnerships with reputable developers to deliver the Renewed Hope Cities, which target to high-income earners. So far, we have attracted over 70 billion in private sector capital. Under this framework, government creates an enabling environment, provides the bankable offtake guarantees, access to infrastructure, while developers source for funding to deliver the houses. We encourage more developers with the technical and financial capacity to come on board. We are open for business. To deepen the mortgage market and increase the home ownership, the government has also set up the MOPI Real Estate Investment Fund, which is MREIF. This will mobilize blended finance drawn in public and private capital to provide more longer-term mortgages and a 12% interest rate per annum to Nigerians. So recognizing the reality that not everyone is ready to buy a home, we are also introduced two groundbreaking interventions at Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. We have the rent-to-own scheme, which allows eligible Nigerians to move into homes while paying monthly toward ownership. There's also the rental assistance product, which helps Nigerians pay their annual rent in advance while with flexible monthly repayment terms, and then these are practical tools to ease housing pressure, particularly for urban workers and young families. Our commitment also extends to the National Urban Renewal and Slum Upgrade Program, which prioritizes infrastructure improvement, housing rehabilitation, and service delivery in underserved communities. These efforts align with the UN Habitat Global Action Plan for Slum Transformation and the Addis Declaration adopted at the 2024 African Union Forum, which commits African governments to leave no one and no place behind. However, as we all know that real progress must happen beyond the federal level. The biggest gaps in housing delivery are at the subnational levels, where many state governments lack the technical capacity, planning systems, and financial tools to act decisively. That's why I'm happy that many state governors have sent their representatives here today. That's why I'm pleased to announce that our plan to launch a state-by-state home ownership and housing development campaign is a high-impact outreach initiative in collaboration with the state governments and private sector and development partners. The goal is to bridge the gap between national housing policy and the state-level execution, while empowering citizens with the knowledge and tools to access affordable housing opportunities. So as part of the initiative, we aim to embed housing reform champions as special advisors to state governors that will convene state housing roundtables to review existing housing development plans and provide technical advisory, develop actionable roadmaps, and offer hands-on support to structure viable projects and unlock financing. The campaign will also ensure alignment with federal programs, thereby enabling states to access funding and technical support from institutions such as the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, the Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Corporation, NMRC, the Family Homes Fund, the Mortgage Refinance Murphy Real Estate Investment Fund, MRIF, the Shelter Africa Development Bank, and others. I therefore call on our development partners, the DFIs, the donor agencies, and private sector leaders to support this initiative. Let us take the knowledge we share in conferences like this and transform it into concrete action in our communities. To underscore the government's renewed political will to housing delivery, we have also finalized plans to establish an expert-led National Housing Policy Coordination and Monitoring Committee to evaluate and report on the implementation of the National Housing Policy and related housing sector programs. As said by some of our observers that mentioned about, I'm happy that the special advisor or the chairman presidential committee on tax reform is here in this forum, who was to inform that the National Land Administration Documentation and Titling Program is being run by the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development in conjunction with World Bank. We intend to unlock over 300 billion naira in debt capital. We want to increase land formalization by 50% in the next 5 years. So Mr. Tayo, the Chairman Presidential Committee on Tax Reform, is a good partner to help realize this vision. So also the issue of the cost of building materials. The ministry has already championed the establishment of building material manufacturing hubs, one in each geopolitical zone of the country. At the moment, currently, we have gotten land, one in down south, one in the down north, and one at the center. And this land has been acquired, and the project is about to take up because since the land has been acquired, the designs have already been done, and we have also secured some investors who are willing to come and invest in the construction of the building material manufacturing hubs. We are already in a discussion with the ICRC, who are the regulators of the PPP projects, whereby we have already secured the online business case, which is the OBC, for the takeoff of the project soon. So also the issue of the economy, I intend to forward this to the external management team, to which the government have confirmed to you we are doing a lot on that. On the CRR, which the presenter of the keynote speaker has mentioned, I'm happy to know that the CRR, which is the cash reserve ratio, the CBN, could be used for this. We are intending initially to use the pension funds in some of this. But you know, pension funds come with high return on investments and high profit. But the CRR, which has a very low or even no much of the interest that will come on board will be leveraged to see what you could do about it, especially in our desire for the renewed hub cities that we are doing in each of the physical zones of the countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to know that housing is not a privilege, It's a right. It is not just a roof. It is the bedrock of health, dignity, productivity, and national stability. When we invest in housing, we are investing in people, in jobs, in cities, and in the future. That's why any engagement we have with the National Assembly, we always bring this to their knowledge, that housing is investing in people, in jobs, cities, and even the future. And there's a need to always increase the funding from the government, and then also to liberalize any access to finance for the private investors. Let us reimagine boldly, let us collaborate sincerely, and let us legislate wisely. And let us build Africa we desire, so that one home at a time.